and self-hate. People who are what I call, and we use too much grammar because a lot of people are watching, mothers are watching, grandmothers are watching in the villages. People who out of cowardice and self-hate think that Nigeria somehow can be won. But all of you know that Nigeria is an Islamic country. I'm sure you're aware of that. All of you also understand the intentions of the Fulani. Oh, if you want the presidency, you have to work for it. Tinubu, you must work for it. How is Tinubu working for it? You must condemn anybody who comes out to speak against our people in your forest. That is what they are doing. Some of you don't understand it, but we do. Some of you do not understand what is happening, but we do. And that is why we are here to tell you. The real terrorists in Asarok, they have dropped them, and now presidency is telling you, you cannot touch them. But these are people killing people in Yoruba forest. No, you cannot touch them. A whole presidency to tell you that every Fulani man is in on this. Their foot soldiers are Miyetti Allah. Have you all forgotten that they gave Miyetti Allah 100 billion? Have you all forgotten? No, typical Nigeria nigger. Have you all forgotten? So you've forgotten that this so-called presidency, Garba Shehu, gave Miyetti Allah 100 billion to come down to the south to give peanuts to useless monarchs and traditional rulers so that our forests can be taken. Have you all forgotten? Oh, you have. Of course, you're in the zoo. You've forgotten. Did they give 100 billion to any other organization? Did Asorok give 100 billion to any other group? Why would a government give 100 billion to a bunch of terrorists and openly claim that they are stakeholders in the government? That is why government can come out openly without shame to support terrorists in Yoruba forests. Let them come to our land and they will see. They say that all the government of Ondo State and others must draw a boundary. Where who are the bandits and who are the law-abiding? How can we know? That's not going to my phone about my phone and when you man all the lizards, all the you know now lizard, their stomach is almost on the floor. So we don't know which one has belly ache. How do we know? How can you differentiate between a good herdsman and a violent terrorist herdsman? How can you know? How can you know? I'm asking you. Miyetti Allah is there, remote controlling all your lives. Look at how they installed, after installing Hope, they installed the idiot Hope, George Obiozo. George Obiozo was the man that took Hope Uzodinma to the north to go and introduce him as a politician. The same Uzodinma that George Obiozo, he's an intellectual, as they, you know, the fools. Once they give you a degree, they say you're an intellectual. George Obiozo, before he took Hope Uzodinma to the north, did you know that Hope Uzodinma was doing 419 in Lagos? He was a fraudster doing Yahoo in Lagos. Who doesn't know in Imo State that Hope Uzodinma was a fraudster in Lagos? These are the type of leaders that they imposed on our people. Idiots. And we are there. They have Apex organization. Apex. These are errand boys for the caliphate. That's why BBC is promoting him. That is why they are all promoting. That is what they have always done. Black people are like that. As I told you before, when the British came to stop the eastern advance of the French colonial forces in Benin Republic, in Badagry, basically in Badagry, you know what Britain did? They didn't go to England to come bring soldiers. They went to Ghana. They recruited the Ghanaians, black niggers from Ghana, to come and help them to conquer their fellow niggers in Nigeria. They didn't have to go travel very far. That is why I keep saying that the brain of a black man is his greatest impediment. You see, inside this brain, everything a black man is suffering from is here. Inability to reason. Inability to reason. It is the truth that I must tell you. Some may not like it, but of course I will tell you. You cannot, the presidency is telling, you cannot unilaterally push out herdsmen. What are they doing in the bushes? In the forest? And they said this to feed their cattle. Before the white man came, where were you feeding your cattle? Fulani? Where? What was your cattle eating then? They said it's climate change. Of course, it's a lie. You came from very barren, arid Sahel. No rain in Sahel for centuries. It didn't start today. You were able to keep your cattle, you drink the blood and you drink the milk. That's how you survive. Now, what are you doing in Ondo Forest? Our people cannot see because they are blind. People cannot see because they are blind. But we are here to open your eyes. All of them killing themselves over Jonathan presidency. From the so-called Niger Delta or Yoruba that was dying because of Obasanjo presidency. Where are they today? They are still the ones crying that things are not okay. So you think as an Igbo man, if you're there for 8 years, somehow, miraculously, you will change anything? Erosi tried and they killed him. Use your brain. It was meant to be Alex Ekweme after Shagari. Buhari overthrew the government in 1983. Some of you don't know history. Rather than allow an Igbo man to become the president, they did a coup. Some of you need to reason very well. Also, you claim you went to school, you should be able to use your brain. How can you believe the people who are foolish? They cannot, because of the...
It tells you that Nigeria was not well guided from the beginning on the consequences of what the British system actually have installed before independence, before they were able to leave Nigeria. And you get discovered the Fulani antecedent or whatever what they do in other parts of the country before they, he came there. Instead of understanding very well that Fulani, handing over or bringing them into our system, over time will lead to certain consequences, and that is the consequences we are having today. And with time, there are also the reasons for the war between Nigeria and Biafra war, the same Fulani, and Nnamdi Kanu has already given a hint, exposed some of these things to the world, what the Fulani people intend achieving. And what is it? The core part of it was the bottom line of it is just Islamization, the Islamization agenda. Or whatever it is, whether it is being, they are under oath or of their forefathers to make sure that Nigeria fell under Islam completely. And that is the reason why we are seeing this thing. But of recent, since APC came to power in Nigeria, the Fulanis has, spread killings across the whole country. And when these things were happening, it means that the federal government themselves, initially Nigerians did not understand, but gradually Nigerians begin to understand that the average Igbo man is not a violent person. That the average Igbo man wants peace. The average Igbo man seeks peace and justice. Now it has become very clear that the Igbo man was not against his own brothers. And those who are trying to harness and take the Igbo tribe by force faces severe resistance. That was the beginning. Like the Sultan of Sokoto said recently, that the problem of them is not the Igbos, that the problem is the Igbos, that apart from the Yorubas, they don't have problem with Yorubas. It's easy for them to run the Yoruba land, but the problem they are facing is the Igbos. That Igbos has always been an obstacle to them. Imagine the Sultan of Sokoto saying that when he issued a threat about Sharia. So they have given fueled a lot of jihadist movement down the southern part of the country. We have experienced a lot of killing for over 3-4 decades now by the same people, and we've not seen a deep reaction coming from the so-called political leaders at this moment, till this very moment. But just because they came and disguised themselves as hunters, and not only disguising themselves as hunters, before this thing begin to spread to the extent of mob attack or jungle justice, one of the Fulanis used dagger to stab youths. That was what triggered, but nobody's going to tell you that. Nobody talks about.
I want to ask you a question on what is happening in the north right now. Over in the north, they are protesting that justice has to come. But in this very country, few days ago, in as much as all of us condemn this jungle justice in the those states where these men were killed and born, but we as well in this country, few weeks or few months ago in Ebonyi State, where party boy was gone down during the day by a peaceful and header, choosing member who are said to go to church in the morning. Up to this very moment, the federal government has not taken any action about it. The governor of the state is not taking action on this. They have committed several atrocities. One video went viral of the boy Enugu, where those women were shouting that these Fulani people are raping them, killing their husband, do all sorts of things. In Benue, it's every day, constantly. But as I speak to you, federal government have not speak about it. In President Bola Ahmed Tinubu hometown in Ondo, we see different protests, several protests. That's why you can see the cost of food is expensive. But we are wondering now. Somebody like activist very dark man have said that the northern and the Arewa does not have the right to protest for this killing because killing has been going around over Nigeria and there's no justice. For them to be demanding for justice for these people, they don't have the moral right. What is your own take about it?
Let me tell you, it shows I think they're trying to take advantage of the perceived cowardice or cowardness of the southern leaders, especially the governors, the senators, the politicians of middle belt and of course southern Nigeria, who are seen to be very fearful of responding or coming out to say about the killings that is happening in the entire south, and they are using that as a psychological weapon to continue to muster certain influence against the south. Assuming that a certain southerner has been consistently, condemning, I think 2, 3 governors, hammering on the killings of these Fulanis by in the southern part of the country. I think it would have gotten to that level where there was a clash of resistance in Edo State, and we're seeing massive response from the north. So what does that tell you? It's unfortunate that we have this kind of people. And when Akele Belu was there as the Ondo governor, I think to an extent he was fearless in responding to issues like this. He condemned anything that had to do with Fulani activity. He condemned anything that had to do with Islamization of Nigeria in any form. But look at the present day southern governors. We hardly hear any of them go against or say anything in midst of people being killed by the Fulanis in their own land.
We have the boldness. We have seen the boldness of the Igbos speaking. This Akebelu you just mentioned may so rest in peace. Could it be maybe probably because a part of it was Igbo because the wife they married is Igbo. Average of us we are talking about in Southwest now. They hardly talk about this Islamization, about this movement. Don't you think that?
Yes, an analyst of Yoruba extraction was trying to share the same view on this issue. That why was Akeredolu was actually is it because he married an Igbo woman? Was it the brain behind it? Was it that the reason of that bravery we saw him during those challenging times? And to the extent he persuaded the southwest governors to get Amoteku as a private indigenous security, because of this Fulani threat. So he went as far as even though when the North were trying to shut down on anything on Amoteku, Akeredolu stand his ground, defended it until it become something the people can begin to. You can see that even Lagos State and some other, they refuse to be part of, But just one resistance that happened in Edo State, the entire northern governors, this is not the opposition, both those in opposition and the ruling party, including the area of Kano, it tells you that what they are pushing, they are aware of it. It tells you what the governors are doing in the south. They are fully aware of it. It is a shame to the job people, to the security people, to those who said that tax. You don't know what is called tax. I look at this, they are tax out. They are stupid people. They are using they're using them. The messenger of the crude oil. They're the one mining. They're the one in control of the oil block, the oil wells there. The lieutenants themselves. They also dictate. So they are busy planting Fulani governors in the southern part of the country. Yes, you can see.
Let me ask you, I am one of those people who support Nnamdi Kanu without fear of any favor. By the grace of God, I am from the middle belt. I am not an Igbo. I love what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. I was once said that Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting for only Igbo. Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for the Yoruba. He's fighting for the Middle Belt. He's fighting for everybody in Nigeria. And we can see that majority of everything Nnamdi Kanu has said concerning this Fulani have come to pass.
Yes, I think a lot of people have come to the point of agreeing with the position of Mazen Namdekano. That and one of the reasons why he insisted and fought for the separation of this country, so that they were able to have their own country, be able to stop any form of resistance like this, so that maybe possibly, and if you feel that this is what the religion you go and practice it with your family. You don't impose religion on people to the extent that you use it as a threat, as a weapon of killing. I don't understand. You understand? So, Nnamdi Kanu is gradually becoming a global icon, an African Afro politician, a man who has been acknowledged to be one of the foremost freedom fighter in Africa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being celebrated all over the world, not because he's campaigning for Biafra, but because he saw that a black man has a lacuna, and that lacuna needs to be filled. And that is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents. Nigerian government themselves knows what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood for. The people, I always say it, that what is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not the law, it is the interest. And what is the interest? You can see the speed of which Bola Ahmed Tinubu reacted. But when under the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there was massive killing by Fulanis in the Ebonyi. He never said anything. There was massive killing in Enugu State. He never reacted. He never said it. There was several killing in Delta, in the same Edo State. But you can see the speed of which everybody don't stand for because of the resistance that took place in Oromi. Well, they can be there on the side of the government. They can be on the side of the government, but the people themselves will be on the side of the people. As simple as that.
Before I will let you go, the sponsor of this Fulani, these Uromi boys that killed this Fulani, has been exposed by the governor of Edo State. The Edo State governor, people now said that it is the politician opposition party that are causing this insecurity. Did you believe the government?
There was nothing like that. It's unfortunate that we have somebody like that as the governor presently now in Edo State. It's unfortunate, it's a tailored government, and it's been imposed there by the Fulanis. And when it is time for them, they want him to react, he must react. If he don't react, they know what to do. They remove him. So he knows that he's been tailored to stay there and carry out and represent some certain factor, and that's what he's doing. Imagine a government less than 24 hours free to Kano and bow down to the Kano State government. Kneel down.
People are saying
Yes, yes. He knelt down. Not only that, he went to Abuja and knelt down too before Tajuddin Abbas. He was just kneeling down everywhere. You understand? So, God, it has become an embarrassment. I don't know what it. So, with this kind of attitude, and they're seeing you from different angle of the world, that you are already subdued. You give the Fulanis, the strength, the morale to continue to do what they are doing.
Contrary to what you are saying, Uromi now, I got my information this morning that Fulanis now they are on ground in Uromi.
But
Uromi, you are running away from
yes,
Uromi.
they are moving in trailers and their droves. They are coming in. No resistance, no police should stop them, no army should stop them. The governor has already bowed to the superior order. So what else do you expect? You see the reason why I told you what the Igbos, the Biafrans, went in the hands of the enemies for 3, 4, 5 years. The resistance. See, there's no way. I keep on saying it. The liberation will only come from that kingdom. Nobody, not even the Fulanis, not even the Hausas, not even the Anagos can rescue themselves.
Mr. Jedu, let me let you go on this final note. Many people have bring their view that we thank God that this scenario did not happen in the southeast ground, because if it were to happen in one of the states of the southeast, Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian police Nigerian Navy will have leveled the town. Lot of what we are talking
Let,
about.
let me tell you, you see, the humble looking of a lion does not mean that the lion is weak. In the midst of injustice, resistance becomes an option. I repeat, in the midst of injustice,